Hey guys, it's Robin Link, creator of Spiritual Perfectionist Anonymous.com. Oh, look at that. I guess I need to go grab that web address. Let's try that again. It's Robin Link. Hey Genevieve, how are you? Of RobinLink.com and the creator of Spiritual Perfectionist Anonymous, which is a free Facebook group that we have where like-minded people get together to release their perfectionist tendencies. Yeah, getting some likes for that. Amen. Hey Susan, how are you? And we are all learning together that you do not have to be perfect to be prosperous. Oh, thanks, Susan. Look at that. Okay, so this is the energy forecast for, I always have to look at the dates, December 7th to December 13th, 2016. So, I have my cards. I haven't even looked at them yet. Let's see. What are we talking about? Oh, nice, nice, nice. Woo! Oh, my goodness. Some of you are really going to know why you are watching live today. Angel of Love. We have got, and I know these are backwards, but we have romance and we have meditation. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So this week, love, romance, and meditation. So what are the angels and the universal energies talking to us about in terms of that? First of all, what they want, oh, this is really beautiful. Okay. They've been softening me up again. They had me doing this whole fire and brimstone for a while, and now they got me back into the soft place. Yeah, bring it on, Jen. So, the love, what they're talking about right now is, first of all, what they want you to know and remember, first and foremost, hey Dominique, is that you are loved, okay? It doesn't always feel like it in the physical world, right? And it doesn't always show up in the physical world. And that makes it so, so hard sometimes to remember your self-worth and to retain your self-worth, right? It really makes it hard. But the bottom line is, when we strip away all the humanness, you are God. You're part of God, period, the end. So how can you not be loved? And how can you not be love? And that is the truth and the fact of the matter from the spiritual sense, right? So how do we take all this and infuse it into the human side of things? Because when you get down to it, and they're talking fast, so I'll be looking away from you a lot, sorry. But when you get down to it, being here on this planet, I said this last night, is about having all different kinds of experiences, right? And you will hear many different points of view on what you're here for, what you're here to do, who you're here to be, and even whether there's love, whether there's love and fear, whether there's good, whether there's evil, and all the stuff in between, right? Well, when you get down to it, when you get down to the very spiritual basics, and I'm going to say the bottom line spiritual basics, and also the overflowing spiritual truth, everything just is. Everything is. There's not good, bad, evil, love, fear, hate, joy, none of that. It's literally, it's just an isness. When you're in that space of spirit, it's all just an isness. Sorry, I got a text. And what we're doing is we are actually labeling our human emotions and putting, or labeling consciousness based on our human emotions, okay? It's the human who needs to feel love. It's the human who desires the romance. And it's the human who needs to meditate to get connected back to God and back to source and back to the angels, all right? There's nothing right, wrong, bad. There's nothing to judge about that from a spiritual sense. From the human sense, you're going to put all kinds of limitations on it, okay? So in terms of this week's reading, we have love, we have romance, we have meditation. The bottom line is, if you want the romantic kind of love in your life, if you want to magnetize it, if you have it and you want to expand upon it, if romance for you, if this is more about, and I know there's somebody who's going to be watching that this is specifically for, it's falling back into love with life. It's experiencing the romance of life. It's becoming a partner with life and with divine. Oh yeah, falling in love with the divine and creating a different kind of romantic relationship with the divine on a different level, not just only on the human physical level that we look for with another human being. So this is really a very far-reaching reading today, and it's much bigger than I expected it to be. But the bottom line is, in order to get anything, it's not even so much about the action of meditation, the bringing up the action of meditation within the reading, but what they mean by it is it's that specific conscious connection with divinity, so that you can get reacquainted with who and what your truth is in terms of divinity, so that you can strengthen your connection with divinity. And in doing so, you will have a much easier time attracting the love and the romance in the physical sense that you're looking for into your life. You will be recreating that strength and power that comes from being connected with the divine, so that you can have more experiences of instant manifestation. It's learning how, or knowing, I should say, that you can be happy even when the shit is hitting the fan, all right? Because when you get down to it, our life here on this planet, and as much as you know, I'm about embodying the human body, because if you want to manifest something, you have to embody the human body. You have to take the physical actions that only the human can take. And the stuff that you're trying to manifest is not for your spirit body, it's for your human self, right? So I'm all about really owning your humanness, but at the same time, you want to. It'll be more effective for you if you also own your spirituality, the spiritual part of you, your true spiritual beingness, your divinity, your godness. And, you can attract a relationship, the relationship of your dreams, without owning your godness. Good morning, Kim. Without owning this part of you, right? You can absolutely do that. However, it's never going to be as fulfilling as it could be when you are truly and firmly connected to the divine. And this, last night I was talking about prayer and I was talking about faith, and sometimes it's easier to look at God, divinity, divine, angels, all of that as being outside of you, right? Yeah, better late than never. Sometimes it's just easier to connect. Sometimes it's just easier to disassociate yourself from your divinity, connecting with that so that your human part of you bumps up against fewer blocks because it has more trust in what it believes is outside of you instead of what's in you. And I'm gonna, while I don't love that human truth, it is what it is, right? And I'm of the belief that if you truly want what you want, then you need to do what you got to do in order to get there. And if you need to look outside of you for divinity in order to start learning how to trust that you actually are divinity, so that you can magnetize what you truly want out of life into your physical world, then that's where you start. It's kind of like training wheels, right? Sometimes you have to take those baby steps. And sometimes the only way that you can make that connection and trust it again is to look outside of yourself. And for some of you, it's looking inside of yourself. So, this group is all about Spiritual Perfectionists Anonymous, giving up the perfection, giving up the need to be perfect. It's about finding what works for you so that you can be fulfilled. Because you're not going to be fulfilled without some kind of connection with divinity. Right? And so back to love, romance, meditation, right? The 3 cards for the week. So if you want the love and you want the romance, get into that connection. It may be going into actual meditation. You may find a different way of connecting with the divine. It's allowing yourself, it's giving yourself permission to access the divine energy in the way that works for you. It could be prayer. It could be going to church. It could be reading the Bible. It could be it could be some form of other ritual that's not coming to mind right now. Okay, you need to find what works for you. Because until you do, you're not going to be able to make manifest what you want in the physical world. And the thing is, can you do it without the universe? Can you do it without the divine? Can you do it without trust in the universe and the divine? You can. But it's not going to fill you. It's not going to give you the feelings that you are hoping and wanting and needing and desiring to get from it. Good morning, Barbara. Right? It's just going to be a thing. It will be no more than a trophy sitting on a shelf, right? How many times have you manifested something and made it happen? And then the next day you're like, well, shit, now what? Right? That's because that divinity, that divine connection is missing. That's because you were looking for an outside emotion that, yeah, all the time, Dominique, right? I know, I hear you. It happens to me sometimes when I'm doing these reports. There's some times when I'm channeling, but I'm not consciously connected to the channel. And so I'll be, good morning, Evie, and so I'll be expressing everything that's coming through with the channel, but I'm not feeling it. Because I disconnected from it, because it's like, oh, Yeah, got to get the messages, got to get the message, got to make sure it's accurate, got to make sure that it's put out there in the way that you guys can receive. And sometimes I forget about me. You know, just because I'm a channel doesn't mean that I don't get to um, receive the benefits of the message, right? And the same thing goes for you guys. So when you look for those goals that are outside of you, and, you know, and Evie popped on, so she's just reminded me because we're talking about the body stuff, you know, the fitness goals, right? When we're looking at those fitness goals, you know, they're all for the human. They're all for the human, right? So what are you going to do as a result of it? And whether it's a fitness goal or any goal, and the romantic relationship that you're trying to bring in, right? What are you going to do with it? What is it there for? What is the actual feeling that you are trying to receive and achieve and feel and embody as a result? Most of the time, we look at partnerships and wanting to have a relationship because we don't feel complete. And we look for the partner to complete us. And when you do that, you're giving your partner an impossible goal. You truly are. Now, yes, when I am with David, I feel more whole, right? But it's not that he does that whole Jerry Maguire thing, you complete me, with as romantic as that is, and as much as I love that, it's not that he completes me. It's being with him helps me to have a mirror or he creates a mirror so that I can see who I'm being in the world. And he helps me to feel safe enough to relax and surrender into my truth. And the relaxation and the surrendering into the truth, that's what completes me. So when you're looking for a partner, and that's what helps me to feel safe enough also to increase constantly my own feelings of self-worth and my own feelings of confidence. So if you're looking for a love, if you're looking for a partner to make you feel whole, it's not going to work. You're giving them an impossible task, and it's not fair to them. It's not fair to invite somebody into your world as a means of your validation, your entire validation. You got to learn how to do that for yourself. They can help you to get there. They can help you to see and recognize the parts of yourself that you can't see and recognize. But please don't ask them to become your source of validation. Your relationship isn't going to last. And if it does, it's never going to be what you truly want it to be. Yes, being with my guy helps me to feel really good about myself. Absolutely. It took a long time for me to allow myself to receive all that he has to give. It took a long time for me to recognize that I have a huge amount of value that I bring to our relationship so that he can see in him the parts of him that he was missing and reconnect with them. So if you're looking for, going back to the cards, let's bring it back to the cards. We had love, we had romance, and we had meditation, right? If that's what you're really looking to bring into your life, then please begin with the meditation side, because the meditation is actually speaking to making the connection with the divine. With the divine. And again, if you need to use training wheels and access the divine by looking outside of yourself first, then go for it. Don't make yourself feel bad for it. Just do what you need to do so that you can access the divine. And the more you access the divine, ask to be shown the truth of your own divinity, because you are divine. And the more that you trust and know that you are divine, and that you have access to the divine, and that you have access to everything that the universe has to offer, the easier it's going to be for you to attract and magnetize the romantic, loving relationship that you are desiring. Make sense? Does anybody have questions? Just check and make sure on the live stream we're all still here. And let me know if you have questions, because we're at 9:25. And, oh, look at that. And I'm going to be shutting down this transmission in just another minute or two. I don't see any questions showing up. So I'm going to assume that you guys got everything that you needed from it. If you're watching this in Spiritual Perfectionist Anonymous and not online on YouTube, then you're not going to know what I'm talking about, and you do want to get into the group. But last night's healing session that I did live, the recording is up in the group on the timeline. Good, Barbara, thank you. Thank you for answering. It's up on the timeline. Also, David pulled the audio out from it so that you guys can download it. That's also in its own post someplace on the timeline within the group. For those of you who are in the group, I would like to build the group. Yeah, get back to your meditations, Kim. For those of you who are in the group, I really wish you would start inviting some new people in, and let's get some more new blood in here. We've got, I think, 3 new members, and I personally love the energy that we all, you're welcome, Susan, that we all are bringing to the table now, and just living that viewpoint of you don't have to be perfect in order to be prosperous, and just remembering that prosperity extends beyond the limitation of just financial prosperity. It's being prosperous on your inside as well as on your outside. And again, in whatever way prosperous looks for you. So I would really love for you guys to invite people. Also, I will be putting the link to YouTube in the group for this once I get it uploaded. That's the link that you can use to share this out. If you know somebody who's not in the group who needs to hear today's message. And what else? The healing sessions, I'm running a package on healing sessions right now, $397 for 3 healing sessions. Let's pick one of your dreams. Let's blast through the blocks in the first 2 sessions, and then let's activate it and get you moving so that you guys can have the life that you want and that you desire and that you deserve. All right? So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for being here. This is Robin Link of robinlink.com, and I would love for you to join us in Spiritual Perfectionist Anonymous so you can remember that you don't have to be perfect in order to be prosperous. I'll see you all in the group. Have a great day.